I'd like to share with you my first reaction to my husband being diagnosed with bowel cancer. Now, at the time, I didn't even know anything about it, and he was keeping big secrets from me, and I didn't even realise. And his friend in Auckland, his former business partner, was going through cancer himself, really bad, and eventually did pass on. And so we were at the funeral, and I was doing my best to support my husband because they were friends, they were like brothers, and his friends' children regard my husband as another dad, really, because they grew up knowing that the two of them were in business for many, many years together, and so they grew up as young children knowing that Keith was going to be around if Dad wasn't. And so when their dad passed on, one of them came and said to him, well, we've always looked on you as our dad as well, because you were always with Dad. And I've never seen my husband cry so much. I mean, I know he does cry because he's a very emotional person, even if he won't admit it to you. But I have seen him cry a little bit. But I tell you, when that young man came up to talk to him and told him that, well, I did. My heart went out to him, really, because he was feeling so lost now that his friend had gone the way of all the earth. Anyway, after the funeral, we came back to my daughter's house, and he wanted to come straight back home, but I wanted to stay up there because I wanted to spend some time with the children, and I wanted to spend time with two families, and I wanted to hopefully to get a visit into the temple in Hamilton. And so I said, well, can I stay a few extra days, like, maybe a week, and I'll come home after that? And he said, yes, you do that, and off he went. So he caught a truck home with one of his other friends. This is how he gets up and down the island. He brings up one of his friends who has a truck, and he shares, he gets in their truck and he gets the ride home that way. And so and at the time we were still living at Paikakariki, that was in the North Island, and so he trotted home the next day. Anyway, I was just busy doing my things with the children, and I get this phone call, and here's Keith on the other line, and he says, oh, the hospital said that it's only piles. I thought, what hospital? What hospital said it's only piles? What are you talking about? And he said, oh, well, I've had a bit of blood, and so I thought I'd better go and have a test, and they said it's only piles. I've just been for my appointment. And that was why he was hurrying home. Now, he hadn't said a word to me. And so immediately I went into a spin because I didn't know what to do. I thought, well, I shouldn't be here. I should be down there with him. I mean, I shouldn't be thinking about myself. I mean, really, I was feeling quite selfish for having let him go by himself. But having not known about all of that, and I know that he likes to go and do things and possibly get some more work at straight shipping while he's home. And I thought, oh, well, I'll just spend a week up here with the kids. But when I heard those words that I've had a bit of blood and the hospital said it's only piles, well, I mean, what would you think? So I said to my daughter, I said, do you think I should go home? I've had this conversation with Dad, and I'm not sure what to do. And she just immediately said to me, Mum, if you feel like you should go home, I will take you to the airport. So that was the decision. So we quickly looked online, found a flight that I could get home straight away within the next couple of hours, quickly packed my bag, and off she drove with me to the airport, left me there, and I caught the aeroplane home. I got home. Keith came to meet me at the airport, although he was really astounded that I would stop doing what I was doing and come home. And I got out of the airport, jumped in the car, asked him all these questions that I had in my mind, and he didn't tell me that it had been happening a while, but from what he was saying I realised he had been going through all of this on his own for some time. So, putting guilty feelings aside, guess what happened to me then? I got ill. My mind went into such a spin because I started thinking, he hasn't even considered me in this. He didn't even share this secret with me, and instead of me feeling like I should be sorry for him, I started feeling sorry for myself. Now this is what depression does to you sometimes. And I was feeling cheated. I was feeling cheated that he hadn't shared with me his pain, that I didn't feel that he loved me enough that he could share that with me. And so I got sick, and I was sick for a whole week. My mind just took me into a spin. I could hardly get out of bed. My whole body went physically weak. I felt totally exhausted, and there was not anything I could do about it. And he didn't know what to do about it either, because he didn't know what had caused it, and I certainly wasn't going to tell him and start ranting and raving at him that he didn't love me enough to share this with me. And so he still doesn't even know that's what caused it, and that was a trigger. And so I just had to get through that week as best I could and bring myself right by reading good books and getting more sleep and doing things that I love and sitting out in the sunshine until I came right myself. So this is how I reacted to the news about my husband's diagnosis that he had cancer. But at the time, the hospital kept telling him he only had piles, which upset me because I thought, well, okay. And then so I said to him, well, can you make sure, go and get a second opinion? Because all I could see is our life without him just further down the road, and I didn't think I could handle that, and I knew the children would never handle it, and the grandchildren especially would never handle it, and that's all I could see down the road. And I thought, oh, how are we going to manage? And so I encouraged him to go and get a second opinion. So he did go to another doctor who sent him off for more tests, and then he kept going to the hospital and saying, look, I've paid my taxes all my life. I want an appointment today to see somebody to tell me whether it's piles or it's something more serious. And so every day he went for, must have been 10 days, I suppose. And they'd tell him, look, it's only piles, you're fine. Go home, Mr. Nicholson. You are all right. And this is what they kept telling him. Anyway, so that's how we came to deal with his diagnosis with bowel cancer, not knowing that he had cancer at the time. Anyway, I'm going to stop here and no doubt continue this story on another video.